Hello everybody, my name is Avis Purplecastle and welcome back to my channel. So today we are getting straight into it. I'm going to be reading you guys some spooky stories from Reddit. I'm really excited. I love to read. So honestly, let's just get right into it. This is from True and Scary Stories. This was 7 years ago. I received a frightening phone call at the hospital I worked at, and it came from a room which had no phone hooked up. I never went to the wing of that building again. I work as a transporter in a hospital. About 2 years ago, we moved from an old city, and there was a hospital. The old hospital was built in the 1930s and was showing its age at night. It was just plain creepy. Each floor had an east and west wing. The east wing of the 4th floor was the first wing to be shut down. About 2 weeks before we moved, one night at 9:30, I'm up on the floor to get a patient from the west wing. I see a small group of nurses and aides who all used to work there, now closed East wing. They looked visibly shaken. I walked over to see if everything was okay. They told me that they had decided to walk around their old ring for nostalgia's sake. When they were over there, the phone at the nurse's station started ringing. The computers and phones had not yet been moved. Not sure what to do, one of the nurses reached over the counter and answered. The nurse told me there was a woman's voice, and on the other end, she sounded confused. This was a conversation as I best can remember. This is, "How can I help you?" asked the nurse. "Hello, who is this?" "This is blank. I am a nurse. Is there anything I can help you with?" "Where am I?" "This is blank. Are you a patient here?" "Oh, okay." Then the line was dead. That's when the nurse finally looked up at the screen of the phone to see where the call was coming from. The phone number gave the room directly at the nurse's station. The room, by this point, had been clearly out and the phones were removed. They could see directly into the room and see that nobody was in there. That's when they bolted towards the west wing where I was getting off the elevator. I avoided the wing for the rest of my time there. So, as you can hear, I'm not the best reader aloud of that is. But I feel like that was kind of spooky, not too bad. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's just keep it going. All right, so I found this one. Little trigger warning. There is some school violence, a lot of school violence with a lockdown, so just be ready for that. My school went on a lockdown when a man walked the halls during class, screaming he would kill us all. It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over. Spring break would finally be upon us. So everybody was getting antsy in their seats. I could tell. We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers, so my teacher decided in the middle of class to play a game with Sporkle.com. He was a very laid-back teacher. I liked that. As we were doing some brand logos quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered the question, I remember the exact question to Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked, frantic, and he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go in lockdown. I actually got chills and I got goosebumps up my arms and down my back. The laid-back teacher seemed so panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the classroom. We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes. Then an unusual buzzing that came from the panel in the back of the room ceases, indicating the school must have all power cut. We all look at each other, realizing this must be serious. A few more minutes later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in class actually started crying, which made me even more scared. As the screaming got closer to the classroom, a lunatic-sounding man started banging on the lockers while screaming, "I'll kill all of you! I will kill all of you!" As the moment I started to fear for my life. The teacher shushed us, and we all looked at each other to see our peers' reactions. The banging then moved from the classroom lockers to the classroom door. That's when the girls started crying and screaming. No, the banging on the door grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up! Open up!" Two of the girls in the classroom were crying out loud, and I felt it felt like internally that man was pounding on the door. But eventually, he finally continued down the hallway screaming like a mentally insane person until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though, even maybe an hour and a half, given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that apparently some mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming. The staff wasn't sure if he was armed or not. Now, this was before school had cameras or afford proper security, so the school was wide open to something like this happening. The staff had done a sweep of all the hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him. So the dean instructed that the teachers to resume teaching, but to keep all doors locked and to not let any students leave for any reason. The most disturbing part, however, was one of the janitors were working the night shift. Found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back end of the school. And according to rumors by my peers that were being spread, the man had a .44 Magnum in his pocket. The janitor must have done something stupid to wake him up, for example, leaving the closet door open, because by the time the police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone. My entire class, as far as I know, to this day, has no idea if this man was found. But I like to think now he's being given the proper help he needs. Oh, man, that's actually crazy. I can't believe stuff like this actually happens in real life. Like, the big thing is, like, that's not really a scary story. It is extremely scary, but that is real life. Like, this isn't just ghosts, paranormal, demons. I don't know. This is real. So guys, the thing is, I'm filming this at 3 in the morning, so this is like actually spooking the freak out of me. So yeah. This one's definitely about to make me poop my pants. My dog won't stop barking, so I grew a pair and looked in the window. I was sleeping in my parents' room because they were on vacation and my dog only sleeps in their bed, first floor, and my dad. From a distance, I could hear screaming. Didn't think much of it. We have kids in the neighborhood and surrounding the neighborhood. 10 minutes later, the screams are louder and closer. Still didn't think much of it. Another 10 minutes. The screaming is louder and closer. My dog is huffing and howling and even growling. My heart is beating, but I still play it off, knowing I have all locked doors. My dog will go in fight mode, and I have a gun in the cabinet. No joke, 10 minutes later, the screaming is right outside my window. That's where my head is, and it's louder than anything. My dog is absolutely flipping out, and I've never seen him do that like that before. I'm a pretty intimidating guy, and I'm having a panic attack and probably crying. I'm under my blanket, curled in a ball, too scared to do anything. My dog won't stop barking, so I grew a pair and looked out the window and saw no more. Minutes later, 5 police cars go in my neighborhood looking for an escaped psych patient. The scariest part is she had a knife and was hiding under my front porch steps. That was a short one, but still spooky. Alright, I'm traveling out of Reddit a little. I'm sure they originated from Reddit, but I found this. I got my first pair of glasses last week. My parents didn't think I needed them at first, but the doctor said that there was something wrong with more than just my eyes. That was apparently pretty common, and that I needed specially prescribed glasses for my own good. He said that many people were never given the chance to see the way I would, so I was lucky to get them. I thought he meant cars and faraway words would become less blurry, but over the span of a couple of days, many more things have become more clear. I started seeing nightmare creatures all around. I'd never seen them there before, like in the corners of my room and darkened parking lots. I took my glasses off for the first time today, and um, let's just say how amazing it is, how quickly demons turn into trees and shadows. I know I'm not seeing the truth, but I'm a simple person. I'd rather things remain blurry than the way it sees. This is like, okay, let's see. The devil. I always had a problem with sleeping growing up. Many times I'd get sleep paralysis. After I blessed my room, it hadn't happened in a couple months. This happened to me about a year ago, and I woke up in the middle of the night completely frozen. If I tried to move, I'd get a really loud ringing noise in both my ears, and it would get louder each time I moved. I was terrified. I was scared to open my eyes, but I felt a presence of someone in my room with me. My room isn't completely dark because I have a small blue light, and I open my eyes and see a very, very tall dark figure with two horns on either side of its head, just standing there in the corner of my room. I panic and try and move my body, but the ringing in my ears get louder and louder and even louder, and I feel myself start crying. I close my eyes and start shaking my head and start saying, "God will protect me. God will protect me." Then I hear a low, evil voice say, "God can't help you anymore." That's not true. Depends on your point of view, but I don't believe that is true. Alright guys, I think it's safe to say I've got enough spooky stories in me, and I think I'm gonna go to sleep, or at least try to. I will say some of these spooky stories did get to me, and I hope you enjoyed this, to say the least. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great holiday, and that's all. Thank you so much, guys. Love ya.